NPBF coaches and fans alike, New Frontier people, and whoever out on the West Coast is probably listening to this. Welcome to yet another NPBF Season 16 post draft but preseason interview. Alex again here, coming at you with actually a commissioner who's making his debut on the channel today, James of the Myrtle Magikarps.
Woo woo! What's good, everybody?
It's a long time coming.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to be here. I'm these interviews are such a great idea, so I'm excited. I'm pumped.
That's awesome. Well, the whole point of this is for everyone to actually know who the guys are behind the names. And I mean, I think everyone has been curious to get to know who James really is.
Hey, man, I'm gonna show you guys who Myrtle Magikarps really is right now. I'm about to give you guys the inside scoop.
So, before I ask you my question, it's been brought up a lot in some of the other interviews that have gone up on the channel so far that you are primarily a doubles and VGC guy.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct.
Did you ever do anything like crazy, like going to the Nintendo or Pokemon Company sponsored stuff, or has this just been like stuff you did on your own time, like for fun against other people, nothing official?
No, that's funny. So in 2011, I was like ranked in America. I was like 13th or something for like two tournaments, but they were like back to back.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got a free trip to Pennsylvania actually, and I don't think I took it because I was in college. I was playing basketball at university at that time, but
Hmm.
I was doing like just the online doubles tournaments constantly. And it was a little bit like Showdown where you got 1,500 points. You started at 1,500 and then like you would rank up or rank down. And so like you had 48 hours to get as many battles in as possible. And
Oh, I remember
I,
those days.
yeah. So I remember like, okay, I was like, I got to get the 3,000. I got to get the 3,000. And you start playing people like every time you win, you play someone that wins. You really, it's kind of like Showdown. And I remember just like sacrificing days of my life doing these tournaments. So yeah, man, doubles was really like my competitive niche. And I didn't get into singles until NPBF. And my first season, I went, I think I went 1-11 or something.
Hey, at least you
And
didn't go 0 and 12.
I know, yeah, no, the last game, I was like, I'm not gonna be skunked. So I think I spent a bunch of time like learning because I hadn't played since like 2012 seriously.
Oh
So I
wow.
had like 6 to 8 years of like gap that I had to fill my brain in on. But I loved it, dude. MPBF, I absolutely love it. The singles meta is more, I wouldn't say more difficult in the long term, but you have to make your switches matter a lot more. I would say you're switching like that is basically like a fifth move. And if you can
Yeah.
time that correctly, then you have a really good advantage in singles, which is what I've had to work on.
You're getting there though. Like you every season you show up, you're better and better.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I love it so much, dude. And then it's times like last season, like where life just gets in the way, and you're like, oh, I had such a great plan. Like I think I started, was it 3-0 or two
Two
and one?
two two and one. You
Yeah, I
started off
started
two and
two and
one.
one, and then I railed out like six losses, and then won like 5 games or something. So it's stuff like that where you just like, if you can stick with it, you can be really good at this.
Oh yeah, well you know what? Even with that, you still wound up making Mega Gyarados the kill leader, 20 and what, 2 or 3?
Yeah, I'm digging that, man. Mega Gyarados, what a beefy boy.
It really is. It really is. It's so bulky. It's so fat.
Oh, I love it. If you can even just get webs up, and then you don't even need a Dragon Dance, you just have Gyarados kill something, get one Moxie, and then you can go to work.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and you had a team for it. But that's like I'm curious. So you were doing double stuff in like 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
That would have put you at like Gen 4 and Gen 5, maybe Gen 4. Depends when in 2011, obviously.
Yeah, like Pearl. So yeah, Pearl and Diamond.
So like was 4th gen when you really got started playing Pokemon competitively at all, or did you go even earlier?
It's funny. So I hate to use this card because I don't really like these terms like jock and nerd, but all
Sure.
throughout high school I was like a jock, but I loved Pokemon, and I was like not shameful of it.
That's
So
awesome.
everybody knew it. And I can't remember. His name was Zach and Clint, and they were these two kids that played Pokemon in one of my classes. Sorry, I'm giving you the full backstory
No,
here, but
I want to hear the full
perfect,
backstory.
perfect, perfect. So they played Pokemon during class, and
That's awesome.
I would always be like, "Well, I think I could destroy you guys," and they would just laugh at me. And I remember the first time I ever heard EV training, they were like, "You don't even EV train, James. You don't EV train." And I'm like, "EV train?" I'm like, "What is this term that I've never heard of?" And so I go home and I Google it, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, the game! What have I been missing?" Like, so I grinded out. I can't tell you how many, probably at least a diamond and a pearl, at least two of them, where the timer said 999. Like it couldn't go
Whoa.
more playtime just because I was trying to EV train everything. And I remember battling them, and they would have these crazy Pokemon like shinies. Just like they would have rarer Pokemon and like shiny Mew, like tough stuff. And I remember them finally telling me after I beat them, I finally beat them. Gyarados Aerodactyl combo, by the way, Earthquake, Earthquake. That's what got me to beat them.
Nice.
They were like, yeah, we have a it's not a Game Shark, but
The
it was like
replay.
action replay. That's exactly what it was. And they were like, yeah, we just gen our Pokemon. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been slaving away like when I should be sleeping. But yeah, so that was in 2010. So for 2010, I basically got like my skills up and played. And then 2011 is where like I started like, hey, I think I can be good at this.
That's insane. I had no idea that you put that much time in fourth gen.
Oh yeah, like that is my I know every inch of that map. Let me tell you, I know
I
every
bet
inch
you
of that map.
do. I bet you do. So in that case, I need to know how did you feel about Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, all things considered.
You know, I get people's opinion that like when they hold the opinion like it was sloppily made, like it was just kind of like a yeah, here you go,
Right on.
millennials. Here's your, here's your kickback, your nostalgia. But I liked it because Pearl and Diamond, that was also like the transfer from to like 3D. It was like
Yeah.
the first sort of 3D version, which was also a risk. And so for them to have something that was a risk then this is like what the first one wanted to be,
It
is what I
is.
think.
I
Is what
agree
I
with
think.
you.
So I try to view it that way, like where okay, this is what if they could go back, this is what the best version of it would have been. So I really liked it. I loved it. I'm actually holding the case right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm just looking at it, but yeah, I thought it was good. I would probably give it a 7 out of 10.
And that's
Um,
fine because the originals certainly like without nostalgia, the originals weren't a 7 out of 10.
right, right. I agree. I agree. But the battle mechanics, I loved the battle mechanics in Gen 4. I thought that they were some of the best out of all the games. I think that was when Zapdos had Lightning Rod. I can't remember if
I
that's
don't
Gen.
remember.
Let
It
me
had
just
pressure. I know that.
yeah, for sure. Smogon, Zapdos. But I remember Zapdos just being a fiend.
Zapdos was a fiend in fourth gen because it got defog. Then it was one of the best defoggers at the time.
Yeah, yeah. No, okay, so it was black and white that it got Lightning Rod.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they had to get rid of it basically. So
yeah. And they replaced it with static in X and Y.
yeah, yeah. Weak.
Very weak. Lightning Rod Zapdos would have been a killer
Have
today.
been very good. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. That's like the backstory. And the two guys, Clint and Zach, they would make fun of me because they would battle me before they battled me maybe 100 times before telling me what EV training was.
Oh my god.
And they thought it was the funniest thing. And I'm like torturing myself.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I love that. I love that you grinded out like 999 hours in both Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, I put the work in, dude. I put they say it takes 10,000 hours to make a habit. I think I did that a few times over.
You definitely did, and that explains why you love doubles so much to me as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in a doubles league right now with me and a couple of the other goons, and we've done like some test battles.
That
And
explains why David said he'd done some doubles battles against you yesterday.
Yeah. We'll just say him and I. He's very good at doubles too. Like him and I have some straight up cheese that is going to upset some
Oh, I can't
folks.
wait to see the replays for that.
Yeah, man. We'll show you. We'll show you. It's gonna be interesting because everybody in that group chat is talking big, and I'm trying to just be quiet and like let it happen. Like I just I just want to show up and be good. I don't want to speak put the cart before the horse sort of thing.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, when we did doubles here, I know you didn't make it past round one of playoffs, but goddamn, I
Yeah,
remember watching that season and being like, "We sure this is the same guy from like the first Gen 8 season? We
I
sure?"
know that was the one where I think too. Like I think I was drinking one night and I was like, I'm going to destroy all of you in doubles.
I
You are
remember
all
that. I
gonna
remember that. You were talking big shit,
I was talking mad trash
and
to you
you
guys.
backed it up during the regular season. To be
I
fair.
did, yeah. So the last game, just to talk on that, not to give myself excuses, because I lost to Rennie, so there's no shame in
And
that. But
he won. He won the whole season,
yeah,
so it's
exactly. He
totally
won the whole
fine.
thing. But I had a rain team, and I lost my very last game against James, RIP, previous commish. Lost to him. One, I think I played him and I was drunk again. Sorry. We drink a lot at the job I worked at, everybody. So I don't have a drinking problem. My job has a drinking obligation.
I
Um,
mean, I would too if I had your job.
and then against Rennie, I didn't change up my strategy. So like I had the right team build, but I had the right gameplay, but I didn't have the right strategy. So like I didn't know enough about the gameplay. So if I could go back, that I think would be a different season. But still, yeah, like I got to the second round of the playoffs. I beat Marseco, which I still think about it with joy in my heart.
Man, that was an interesting time. So,
Yeah.
which brings me to a final question then. You're a doubles
Okay.
guy, strictly a doubles guy, who hasn't touched the game since 2012. And then 2019, towards the end, you get brought into the NPBF by this random dude who lives out in Arizona. How the fuck did that happen?
Dude, so this is actually this is a funny story. So I met this chick. I was at a convention at Arizona State. I
Hmm.
can't remember why I was there, but she was a marine biologist, and I think it was a Middle Eastern conflict studies panel or something, and I
Interesting.
wanted to go to it. Um, and she was there. I can't remember what happened, but somehow I was like, "Hey, let's go out. Like, let me get your number." And she was a cutie, and she was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, we can go out." And we go out. We end up hanging out at her place that night. She's really into it, like into me, and she's like, "Hey, I have a confession. Like, I really like you, and this is moving fast, but like, I have some guy who is a marine biologist at Yellowstone who is coming to visit me next week, and he's supposed to stay here." And so I like was like, okay, well, I'm not competing. Like I can just leave. So I left, and then I literally on the way to my house, I was like, just tell her to tell him not to come. Like just say, tell her not to have him not come. So I went back and I knocked on her door. It was like a movie, dude. I
This
was
is
like,
a
hey,
movie.
I was like, don't tell him not to come. I was like, tell him not to come. And she's like, uh, okay. and so
Whoa.
and so then she told him not to come. And that week we went to a party, and I can't remember whose original house it was, but that's where Chris was. That's where Marseco was, and it was a Halloween party. And I dressed up as a Pokemon trainer,
Oh my God.
and he's like, "Oh, you like Pokemon?" It's like, "Yeah, I really love Pokemon." And he's like, "Oh, well, are you any good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good. Like I competed in some competitive leagues in the past and was ranked." And he's like, "Well, we're in this group chat." And I, at first, the way he described it, I was like, "You all sound like a bunch of like losers." The way he described it wasn't very good.
Oh, I'm
So,
sure.
and so like we're drinking, and I was like, "Yeah, man, just like put me in. Like that's fine. I'll do it." And then slowly, it was like, "Holy cow! Wait a minute! Like this is really cool. Like there's normal people in here. It's not just psychos living in their mom's basement." So
Yeah.
so that was kind of like the whole thing, and we had a great time that night. I really got along with Chris. I got along with everybody at the party, and then he just and yeah, it just fell apart later on. And we don't have to talk about it specifically,
No.
but I mean, yeah, that just obviously didn't end well. But I'm very thankful. Thanks,
Yeah,
Chris. I
me too.
appreciate you,
Me
man.
too. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
here without him either. He makes a very good first impression.
Yeah, I would agree.
Second and
I would
third,
agree.
fourth, fifth, however many others, that's questionable. But first one's he's very good at making a first one.
Hey man, sometimes that's all you need, but oh man.
That's
Yeah, man,
so
that's
wild. That's so wild. I love that.
yeah.
That is such a good
R.I.P. to the
story.
girl. R.I.P. to the girl. We did not work out, but
But
still a movie. Still a
that
movie.
is still a movie, and last we spoke about your love life, you had some other prospects going on right now that are pretty good. So
I'm doing okay. That's speaking. Speak of the devil, Alex. This this girl, she is taking me to a cat cafe comedy show on Saturday.
that's
And it
so
was,
cool.
yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. I guess this is what we're doing on Saturday. And she asked me, she's like, "Would you go to this?" And I'm like, I can't not go to that. Like those don't exist, on every corner. They aren't Starbucks. I gotta go.
Yeah, cat cafes are cool. I've never been, but they seem really cool where you just go hang out with cats and shit.
Right? Yeah, yeah. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Oh, please, please, because I gotta know if I'm booking the next comedy show there that I gotta go to.
Yeah, deal.
That's really cool. So we've talked a lot about like your growth. Well, we've alluded to your growth over the season. We haven't talked in full about it. We could if
Mhm.
you want to, because MPBF has been a journey for you.
It has, dude. It really, really has. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. Ask a question. I don't want to just like word vomit. Hey, I was bad and now I'm decent. Like,
Hey man, we could word vomit because I don't know. You know what? For me, I think the turning point when everyone was like, "Oh, this guy doesn't isn't just good at doubles. Like he's starting to get it." Was when we did mono and you had mono poison.
hmm
Like
yeah.
what was that experience like?
Well, first off, I did not draft correctly. Let me just point that out. Like, I should have drafted Nihiligo. How do you say that?
I call it nihiligo. I think a lot of people say it nihiligo, but like it's the
Yeah.
word
So
nihilism or nihilistic and ego. It's dope.
yeah, that one. I should have got that one, and I did not. And I also
Anthony
should have.
got it.
Yeah, Anthony got it, and he did great with it. So no shame there with him having that. And then Marseco got Crobat. So if I would have drafted, I would have got both of those. But what I figured out in mono season, I was like, wait a minute, like I can leverage toxic, and I never did that because I didn't want to be the toxic stall guy. I did not want to be that guy. But I had Salazel.
Yeah, you
So the
did.
fact that I had Salazel, I was like, I've got to find a way to like not toxic stall, but if I use protect once or sub once, like that's not a stall. So I would find a way to manipulate that and then get who did I have that was I had one Pokemon that wasn't weak to earthquake. I can't
Uh,
remember who it
I
was.
can't remember who it was either, but
But I
oh
had
wait,
one of
Beedrill.
them.
You had Beedrill. Beedrill wasn't weak to earthquake.
Yeah, so I had Beedrill, but the thing was is that every other Pokemon, I don't know why people didn't spam Earthquake, but I
I
had
told people to.
I had Umbreon. So Umbreon really saved my life. I think it was Umbreon and Rabombi.
I think you did Everbombi
Yeah,
because you
Rabombi.
were using it for webs, right?
Yeah, so I was able to webs and sort of just moonblast things. And I got to the second round of the playoffs with that. I beat Chris. I think he
He
was
was
like
dragon.
yeah, he was like 11-2 or
Yeah.
something, some crazy statistics. So I was able to beat him. Shout out to Anthony for that. He really helped prep, and Rennie always helps me. But Anthony was like, "You've got to take advantage of Haunter," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Haunter?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, don't bring Gengar, bring Haunter because it had Levitate." And I think like a Haunter Rabombi combo. I just like swept people.
Dude,
Um,
Anthony is such a god when it comes to building and noticing little things like that.
yeah, and what he's really good at is like so just using Haunter. That's an obscure Pokemon that I would be like, oh, why would I do that? I just picked him up because he would have been the next best thing, and he has Levitate. Like it was more of like that would be a switch in type thing. Like if I know
Right.
someone's going to EQ, I'm just going to switch into Haunter. He
Sure.
was I can't. He told me to do something. I don't even remember the strategy, and he was like, if you do this on his Druddigon, like this, and this will happen. And I'm like, what? That's like so specific, but it totally worked. It totally happened, and it switched the momentum of the game. and then Rabombi just went to work. And I remember being like, Anthony, you're like really, that was such a intuition assumption, but he believed in it. So I love that when people are able to like confidently say something that other people think is nonsense and then it's right. I love that feeling.
Oh yeah, Anthony's so good at being that guy.
Yeah. But yeah, mono poison, dude, that season, it really took me out of my comfort zone. It really did because I did not want poison. It was funny because my buddy Scott was in
And he
that
had the
season.
ghost, right?
And he had Ghost, and I wanted Ghost. Like Ghost is, I think, a great typing, and he wasn't ready to be in the MPBF's like the A League. He definitely could have been in D League.
Oh yeah.
But I would like help him prepare. Like this is a Pokemon you need, and then he didn't know how to use it. And so then finally, the very last season or the last battle, I just said, do your own thing. Like it doesn't matter. I think I said something. I don't have time to help you. And I think he won. I think he won like 3-0 or something.
I
Like
think
pretty
he did.
handily.
I remember a lot of people being shocked because he did really well in the last week.
Yeah. So that was like, I was kind of trying to help him out every week and do my own. And he like, yeah, he was kind of what I did this last season where I was, on a yacht, quote unquote. If you
Yeah.
get my, yeah, he was doing a lot of that stuff, but like, just didn't have time to learn. And you can't really, like in your first season with this stuff, you kind of have to learn.
You gotta pay attention.
Yeah. Like you can't really half it.
No. No, I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah. But
And
dude,
then
mono season, dude, that took me
that
for
was a season. That was a
that
season.
certainly was.
It definitely took you. It elevated you because then I remember at the start of the last year when we started the new season, you hit me up because you wanted to prep for Rennie because you had the misfortune of playing Rennie week 1,
Oh yeah.
and we spent like an entire afternoon going through teams and doing practice games, and then like a few days later, you're like, "Oh yeah, I beat Rennie." I'm like,
I did beat Rennie.
"They're like
I
what?"
did beat Rennie. I remember that because I had Flygon and Torkoal
Yes. It's
keeled.
balanced, yeah.
But it's typing plus its access to Dragon Dance. Like there is sweep potential there. So I really took advantage of Torkoal with Yawn, and that's where I fell in love with the Yawn Torkoal. Was that season?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I love Torkoal, dude.
You love him more than somebody else in this commissioner crew
Yeah.
does.
I'm sure I'll hear about that later. I'm sure I'll just get a Torkoal sucks.
Well, you fell in love with Torkoal when said commissioner thinks Torkoal is good when it has drought.
Right. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. What was this? I think I had Torkoal this last season before, like 2 seasons ago, and it did not have drought. I had shell armor.
Yeah, but that was still good for you.
Yeah, I did. I think he access to rapid spin, eruption, yawn. I can't get enough.
No, and I'm going to tell you from a competitor standpoint, I had a nightmare trying to build for trying to figure out ways to deal with Torkoal whenever I had to play against you.
Yeah, dude, Torkoal is it's right up there with Pelipper, dude. And I know there's gonna be those haters. They're gonna be the Pelly haters, but I believe in it.
Listen, man, it happens. So speaking of Torkoal and your team from last season, let's talk about that team a little bit. Let's talk about that season. We said before you went 2-1 in the first 3 weeks, and then you kind of fell off because you were busy, doing some yacht parties and whatnot.
So first off, it was our division was you, me, Jesse, and Jamie. And for those of you guys who don't know, Jesse and Jamie are 2 of the best battlers like in the community. Jesse writes a notebook out with every single Pokemon on the other team and his team, and then each stats, and then itemizes them based upon their metrics above 100. So he literally like pinpoints Pokemon that are powerful and then their weaknesses, and then he tries to find like an optimal avenue to take advantage of their weaknesses. So he is a very surgeon-like Pokemon battler that he spends time doing those things that I would want like an employee to do. Like the way he works his Pokemon games out is how I would want someone to run a business for me. So it's extremely intimidating having to play against that because you already know whatever you've thought of, he's thought of. And so for you to be creative, you almost have to like you have to think 3 or 4 moves ahead, but then you have to go back 3 moves and just do the simplest thing. Like it's very complicated playing against Jesse. And then Jamie is just he drafts really well, and then he's in the moment picks good choices. So he's like an on the fly good decision maker. So battling both those guys first, and I think I got a 6-0 on Jesse because my boy Mega Gyarados got beefy.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he got real beef. So I got lucky there, but I'd always rather be lucky than good any day of the week. And then against Jamie, I think I won like barely, like 1-0.
I think it was I think it was more in your favor than that.
Oh, really? Really?
I think so.
But I won because of a foul play Rodham. So that was sort of like my tech.
I think you won 3-0 actually.
3-0, 3-0, okay.
Something like that.
So yeah, my Rodham, he had a Excadrill that went I can't remember what I did. He switched him in or something, and I went right to foul play. And that was the only attack I had on Rodham.
That was the only attack? Oh, my God.
That was the only attack. It was literally meant for Excadrill. So that was pretty exciting, I think. I really liked that victory. But then I also had to face you. And how far did you go again? You went all the way. You went to the finals, didn't you?
No, I got eliminated round 1 by Jeff.
No.
Because, well, listen, I don't know if you didn't see the game. He brought some. If we had played the game a day before, I actually would have beaten him.
Okay.
Because the morning of, he thought of a crazy set, one that you cannot predict, and he decided to bring Agility Return Porygon Z.
Jeez. Okay.
And he saved it for the very end. My Infernape was choiced into Rock Slide. I didn't have anything that could really, and I just went for a switch. He got off an agility, and my team was worn down that he was able to just click return on everything.
Dang, that's just like Jeff.
Yeah, so I don't feel bad about it because it was something I couldn't predict.
Well, for everybody listening, Alex killed it this last season. He absolutely was the guy to beat, and his team against me was extremely humiliating. So I quote unquote let him draft Gyarados this season this last season because I was going to get the Mega Gyarados. And so if there's one Pokemon I know how to run sets with, it's Gyarados, and one of them is a special set. And did you have Utility Umbrella or no?
No.
Okay, so
it was Assault Vest.
It was Assault Vest. So he chose to go special Gyarados to beat my Gyarados. And he shockwaved, or what did you do?
I clicked Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt. So he Thunderbolted my Gyarados and then just went to work on the rest of my team because that was sort of like my sweep con, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that last season I drafted as unconventional as I could.
That explains a lot.
Yeah. I drafted around Mega Gyarados to set him up. So it was either going to be him or like a Choice Scarf Gengar that I wanted to like just run through people with. And honestly, I drafted that Landorus because I thought I was going to get Sheer Force, but then I didn't. So then I was like, I'll just keep him.
Well, I got to tell you, you actually did well. Despite the panning that your team got in the draft review,
yeah,
that team was actually a problem to build for.
So it's the draft, like, okay, I get a kick out of the power rankings, the draft reviews. I love them. I love hearing everybody's opinion, mainly because most people don't want to be like a dick. Like they want to be kind. Like if we were really honest, people would for sure get Ds, like Ds and Fs. Like we would for sure give those out. And I feel like for the most part, everybody tries to deliver like a gentle review when I feel like you should just be totally blunt. Just be real. Otherwise, how do people get better? So when I got a C and everybody else got B's or A's, I was like, okay, I'm gonna show up and like try to perform here. I was excited about it. So I didn't feel any type of way about it, but I wish we would have more of that like
I will be
criticalness.
brutal. I will be brutal this year.
Yeah, good. Because if you can't take it, then like,
Then don't be here.
yeah, we're here to have fun, but we're also like we're a competitive group of battlers. Like it's winning is fun. So if we can get better, then that's more important to me than like your feelings.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mean that to be harsh. I mean that like tell me my team sucks. Like tell me why it is, so I can get all these different nuggets of gold, and I'll try to make a mountain out of it.
Oh, for sure. We definitely had people your first few seasons here that should have gotten D's and F's on their rankings.
Yeah.
So, unconventional draft style makes total sense. Your team was all over the place. You had so much offensive pressure that was impossible to prepare for.
That's what I wanted.
It was a real nightmare. So, with all that in mind, going into the new season, did you take any of that with you when you were planning your draft and figuring out what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I did. I told myself because of last season, like obviously I had those middle like 7, 8 games that I totally just got skunked. I totally got destroyed. Um, my thought process was get a team that you can like have fun building around. So I think I have a team this season that I don't need to bring Garchomp every time. I don't need to bring Zapdos every time or Mega Banette. I don't need to bring those every time. Like I can really build teams like a really good building type group of Pokemon, which I've never had. Like if I look back at all of my teams, I probably have 4 out of the same Pokemon. 4 out of the 6 are always the same. So I think with this year, especially because of last season, I've got like this really nice Rubik's cube of Pokemon, and I'm excited to use it. I've already done a couple of samples with of mocks with the goons, and I've got a lot of cheese and some tough stuff. Like I drafted Ditto, never ever drafted Ditto. I think I drafted Ditto first.
You did that, and I
Yeah,
mean, Ditto's a good first round pick because you basically get 2 D maxes that way.
yeah, 2 D maxes, 2 megas. I really wanted to take Pokemon that were gonna be maybe not versatile, but they weren't just one trick ponies. Like they have something else. Like Garchomp, I can for sure run a defensive set with
Oh
Garchomp.
yeah, I love defensive.
Empoleon, I can for sure run a hazard defensive set. I can run an offensive Empoleon. With Hatterene, like I now have Magic Bounce and a hyper offensive special attacker. So those are sort of the things that I was thinking of as far as like building. That was one thing I wanted to focus on. If there's one thing I've lacked, it's creativity in the building. And so I really
Right
want to
on.
work on that this season.
Right on. Much respect. I definitely think looking at what you've got that you have a team that's going to let you do that.
Yeah, no, and again, I don't think I drafted like overly. I don't think I drafted like if I graded myself, I'd probably give it a B minus just on overall power, but on versatility, like I can do a lot with this
I
team.
think the versatility really cranks us up to a B plus or an A minus.
So when I look at it, when I look at this, it's like, okay, Mega Banette, I can Will-O-Wisp things, I can taunt things. If I really feel like I'm in a trap, I can taunt, and then I can what is it? The song, not the Perish song, the other
Uh,
one, Destiny Bond.
Destiny Bond, yeah.
I can Destiny Bond their best Pokemon. Like there are things that I can do that are going to put pressure on the other team to get them out of their funk, which
Mm-hmm.
is kind of that's my goal, is to make my pathway, so to speak, so wide that I can sort of like sway back and forth. I can sort of go with the wind, but I want to chip theirs away where they have to be like very straight and narrow. Give them less breathing room, I guess would be a better way to say it.
Yeah, I can totally see that with the things you got. Totally, totally see that.
Good, man. I'm glad I'm not making stuff up.
No, no, you're not. You have a there's a lot of things I like on this. Like obviously like Salazzle Z was something I had considered for myself,
Hmm.
but that was before I grabbed Infernape, obviously. Like if plans changed, I would have been like, oh shit, James sniped me over Salazzle.
Well, I don't even know. Like, I grabbed Salazzle for corrosion,
Right
to be
on.
honest. Um, but I bet you a poison Z move hits hard, or a fire Z move from him. I bet you it hits hard.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's got such a good special attack stat. It's so strong.
And the other thing that the reason I drafted Virizion, and I don't even mind giving away these strategies because I think it's fun to put your weapons out there. But like, I have two of my best Pokemon are Ghost Pokemon, so the only way they're going to be hitting me is
That's
with
true.
a knockoff. So if I go right into Virizion, boom, I get an attack boost, and their speed is already A tier. So I look at it like that. And then if I'm able to use Hatterene's Magic Bounce, predict rocks, and then they defog, boom, I try to predict right into Zapdos.
Or
Um,
Empoleon. Empoleon has that it has the same ability.
Empoleon has
It has Defiant.
no way, really?
Yeah, that's its hidden ability.
Oh well, then I guess you guys are all screwed.
Yeah,
I'm
it
just
gets
kidding. I'm just kidding.
no, 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 no. Your team is really good about defog you know, like making sure people don't want to click defog because you have two Defiant users. You could run Defiant Agility on Empoleon and that's it.
Yeah, and as long as I can, be a good decision maker in the moment, then I think I have a really good shot this year of surprising people. And our who's in my division? I guess I think I have
You have
Jason.
Jason, Shawnee, and David.
Yeah, so I look at my division, and I've got first off, David is one of the most creative team builders I've ever seen. Like, he just creatively thinks of ways. So David wants to beat you by humiliating you. Like, so he will come up with the cheesiest scheme to beat you, and that gives him the most joy.
God, no
So
wonder he's such
I,
friends with Jesse.
yeah, they get a kick out of it, dude. So battling with them has really taught me how to prepare for stuff. And then obviously Jason is extremely talented. He made it to the finals this last year.
Yeah.
So he's tough, but I took his ditto. So I took his card away from him. I think he's gonna have a bone to pick with me.
Oh, for sure.
So I gotta make sure I prepare good for him. But always enjoy playing him. He's a tough shooter for sure. And then Sean is, I mean, geez, he's also one of the best battlers. But the one thing I would say about Sean is that he gets into it. Like, he is emotionally invested in it.
Yeah, he
So if
is.
I can get in his head a couple days before the game, maybe pressure him early on, like, I might be able to get to one up him.
Oh man. You might. I mean, listen. You truly do get a boost after every season. I mean, our last game last season, I thought you beat me.
Oh, dude, that was so tough on me.
If I was a different person, straight up, the moment you beat my High Dragon, if I was a different man, I would have forfeit right then and there.
And what's crazy is there are a lot of battlers that fit that description that you just said,
Yeah.
but you're not one of them. So,
No.
so I wish I could have faced a weaker man, Alex.
I got lucky. I got very lucky, but you definitely you surprised me and you had the tools to do it.
Yeah, it's just execution, man. But hey, again, you were lucky. I was unlucky. Whatever you want to say, you
It's
earned the
Pokemon.
crap out of it. Yeah, you earned the crap out of it, and you'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week in this game.
Oh, 100%. Cause goddamn, I've seen people meme on the Fort Miners song, Remember the Name,
Yeah.
where they take all the percentages and it's just luck. They're just like, this is 100% luck, 10% luck, 100% whatever concentrated power of luck, and they eventually will end up by being like an 100% reason to play another game.
Yeah, man, I feel that.
But that is Pokemon in a nutshell. Maybe not play another game bit, but all the luck bit, yeah, Pokemon's all
Right.
luck. You can be as good as you
Agreed.
want, but if you're if you have all the bad luck in the world, you're not gonna you'll lose to the worst player in the game.
100% agreed.
Yeah, so that's why we don't get hung up on Pokemon.
No, yeah, that's the other thing. We got people who are like bitter about losing. I'm just like, man, all right, we got another week. I ain't worried about it. Like, good job, good game. Like, this game it's like chess, but with 1,000 different more moves. And like, it's like fantasy sports and chess all mixed in one. So there's
Yeah.
so many different variables. It's hard for me to justify being angry, I guess is what I would say, or disappointed. Like, there's
Unless
just
it's unless it's you not just being unlucky. Maybe if you could be disappointed in yourself if you know you could have done better. But
yeah, like maybe yeah, if you underperform for sure.
yeah. Uh, so we spoke on your division. How do you feel about your division? It's mostly Goons and Jason. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's better than the first go around when we did. It's it's good. I will say this: the first couple of seasons, Rennie and I were always in the same division,
Right.
and Rennie is probably one of my like. He's definitely become a good friend. Um, I didn't want to keep facing the best battler. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, how am I supposed to get better when I'm constantly playing? I'm constantly freaking playing Madara. Like, let me fight freaking the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist real quick, bro. Let me get some let me get some practice in. And so that was frustrating just going through that, but it made me a lot better. So I think this is a much more even field. If I'm honest, I'm probably the underdog in this.
Maybe
But
you or Sean.
I look at this and I go, this is another opportunity to elevate myself. So if I can perform in this, then I'm going to like just take that next step, which is exactly what I want. So I view this as an opportunity to get better, and I'm excited about it. And David and I, there's no one better to talk trash to because David doesn't take it to heart and he always dishes it back. And it is some of the most like entertaining chat to watch.
Uh, I've started to see it. I'm really excited to see more of it, and he
Yeah.
definitely has that vibe, which is like he's got that Gab vibe about him.
Yeah. Except for so he is he means well constantly. He
Oh
is a
yeah.
very very good dude. So and then you have I'm sad Jesse's not in the group, but he is like the dad. He has dad jokes constantly. So
Oh, he
having
does.
David and Jesse feed off each other in a chat is pretty. It's a pretty a hoot is what I would say. But yeah, man, I think it's probably the most balanced division.
It is. It is 100%. You're lucky that you're not in the division that you share a conference with. That's the one above you
Yeah,
with Rennie, Eric, Deshaun, and Brock.
yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. But you know what? I'm actually this is good because it's going to force Rennie to like actually take it serious.
Yeah.
Rennie's just one of those guys that I guess I got to do my battle today, and then he puts together some fire team. So this is gonna force him to prepare. I'm excited to see BK show up. BK is one of those guys that probably never belonged in D League, but he had to go through it. And Eric also, dude. Eric is like one of those unassuming great battlers.
Oh yeah.
So
He's only been doing it this seriously for 2 years. I just found that out.
yeah, well, he's extremely good. I'll say that.
Like he had a foundation that he learned in Gen 7, and then he took a break until right as the pandemic started. And then
Wow.
these last 2 years have really been when he's really started picking up and learning Pokemon and really really getting into the competitive nature of it.
Jeez, dude. Jeez Louise. Wait, who was the other person in that? It's
Deshaun.
yeah, and then obviously there's Deshaun, who's the prep king, dude.
Yeah.
He's sitting in the firehouse waiting for a fire to happen while he's building fire teams.
Yeah. That's literally what he does. He's got nothing
Yeah.
else to do, so he just gets to, you know, he gets to mess around while he waits for work to happen.
Yeah, so they're all gonna dude, that's gonna be the toughest division. I wouldn't be surprised though if Rennie and Deshaun just plan better than the other two. And then I wouldn't be surprised too if just BK throws some freaking wild stuff together and Eric patiently dissects people. Like that's going to be an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, and not that you're in the same conference as these guys, but just to flip it, you have the other end of that spectrum with the divisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is ironically is my division, and I think it's just as bad, if not worse, than that other one.
So, who did we? Quentin is Silgo, right?
Quentin is the yeah, he's now the more Pecos.
Okay, so looking at that, and the Chicago Blizzards is Ant, right?
Yeah. So Quentin's not in our division. So Sligo is Steven.
Oh, okay. Oh, yikes. So okay, let's look. I look at this division and I go, Alex, I feel so sorry for you. Like, okay, obviously you're capable. You've
Yeah.
proven that multiple times, but these people are just like Steven pisses me off, dude. And then it's Liam, right? Is Auckland?
Yeah, Liam's Auckland.
Okay, so let me just talk about Liam first. Let me talk about Liam first. So Liam, I look at Liam, and he is one of those guys that'll go 12-1 or 10-1 during the season, and then something happens in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that happens to him multiple times. So
It
the
is.
fact
Two
that
out
he
of
was,
three. 2 out of 3
so he
times.
was finally able to get a championship. First off, that excites me for him. He's earned it. He definitely has the best record over the last 3 seasons if you just combine it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not close.
No, it's not. It's not.
So good for him. I think that is probably going to happen again, would be my guess. I think he's probably going to have a very good season, and then playoffs is going to happen. This is just a guess, so I don't know if that's true or not. And then Anthony, how hard is Anthony going to work? I don't know if he's really going to work that hard.
The hardest. And Anthony, this is the first time that Anthony is completely happy with his team after the draft.
Okay, so if he works really hard, I don't know if I've ever seen that. So that's going to be new. And obviously, I'm partial to Steven in this, but
of course, he's
like
a goon.
he's
very good.
I've never seen not even Rennie. Like Steven does his moves and his team preparing like a general going to war. Like he thinks of getting flanked. He thinks of air war. He thinks of what's going to happen on the sea. Like he thinks of every single. I call him all terrain. So like he is an all terrain battler. He covers every single base. Whereas like Rennie, those are probably the 2 best battlers I would say I know. Rennie is more like, oh, this sounds good. Like I'll try this. So he's more of like instinctual, which is way better for like your schedule because he just builds a team in 10 minutes. But Steven takes the time and calculates and does prep.
Yeah.
And so it's like 2 interesting sides of the spectrum there. So yeah, dude, you have a lot to contend with.
It's rough.
But again, you are 100% capable. So it's just going to depend upon like how much effort everybody wants to put in.
Oh, for sure.
But if I had to guess, and I love doing this, I would say probably Liam has the best record. And that's so crazy because there's 8 playoff spots. Technically, you can have 2 from each division, but it's possible to have 3 from one.
We had 3 from 2 last season.
Really?
Where Deshaun and I were the only ones from our respective divisions.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the top and bottom, so mine and the one that Rennie, Brock, Deshaun, Eric are in, have 3, and then the middle 2 only have 1.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate. But I would say just to speak about Moto Stoke real quick too. I think Jesse's going to destroy that division.
You think so? You don't think that Jeff is going to make it tough for him to pull it off?
So I think it'll come down to like their matchup, but I think that Jesse takes it. And the only reason I say that is because Jesse did so poorly last year.
That's true.
Season.
That's true.
Like he did so bad. Jesse's the type of person that he will rebound extremely successful. And he also like he likes this. Like in a lot of the leagues I've been in with him, he's not really like the most excited and interested, but he likes like what we have going on in the NPBF. So I think he's like motivated by enjoying the environment as well as having to rebound from like such a poor season.
I'm gonna be interested to see how it all plays out.
Yeah,
Truly.
and then you have Gav, dude. He just bums it up and decides to battle. I the day Gav decides to try, I'm excited to see what that looks
He
like.
tried his first. Well, your first season, Gav tried. I know that for a fact. I'm pretty sure he made playoffs that season.
Okay.
That was the first time I ever played Gav, and he beat the shit out of me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he whooped my ass. He Azumarill swept me. I remember that.
Hmm. Oh, and then okay, so Quentin is in this one. Yeah. So I don't know anything about Quentin.
You
I don't
should.
know.
He was there your first season, and he was there in your double season, and then he dropped in the
Oh,
middle
he
of
was.
mono. Yeah,
Oh, dang.
I
I
think
didn't
he was
even.
the one that Rennie beat for the title in doubles.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Dang, Quentin. All right, dog.
and
I
then
see you.
he's the one I beat for my title.
Oh, that's fun.
Like he has made playoffs several times. He is very good.
I'm
it's gonna be interesting to see him come back.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what like a little bit of a break did for him. But I'm looking here at Jeff's team just because I didn't really know what to say. Okay, so I find this suspect. We argue about Mega Kangaskhan and then he drafts it. So
Yeah,
that's a little
Anthony and I spoke on that. How Jeff wanted it gone. Anthony argued for it, and then it was on the board, so Jeff took it.
that's a Jeff move right there. That right there is I like that. That's a good little move right there. And Whirlipede is a great tier 4 pick. I like that. He has extremely bulky Pokemon, Celesteela and Melodic, Florges, Donphan. That's pretty and then some snipers and Blastphalon and Alakazam.
Oh
And
yeah,
then his Go-Goat obviously is a very versatile max Pokemon. So he has a very good team. I It's actually really good. I am curious to see how his and Jesse's battle goes. I'm excited to see it.
I
It'll
kind of like
take.
Jesse's team better. I'm not gonna lie. I actually a gripe I have with Jeff's team, and I'm gonna tell him this in his interview, is I don't think he has enough offense. I think his team is a little too passive.
Yeah, I mean, if he's able to, geez, Louise, he has just such great switch in mons.
He does. He does. He's going to be able to keep momentum. I just feel like he's not. I think Jesse is going to be able to have the offensive upper hand and is going to be able to move quicker than Jeff is in terms of getting damage out.
That's true. Yeah, if I'm looking at it, um, dang, that's gonna have to be a game we watch. But I mean, what else is there to say about Jeff? I mean, he's the head admin. He is a great battler. He obviously drafts really well. I think he can do something with this bulky team. I just think I think Jesse is a man on a mission. So
I think
I'm
so too, especially after talking to him yesterday.
yeah, I bet. Jeez. Yeah, so that's a good division too. So yeah, I agree with you. Just about there's probably going to be three from the top, three from the bottom, and maybe one from each in the middle.
Yeah, it certainly helped that we're not doing full blown divisional rematches at the end of the season and you just have one rematch in the final week.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
So that makes it a bit easier for the 3-3 to happen.
Correct. Dude, this gets me excited looking at everything.
Well, let's get you more excited. I want to take a look at everyone's teams.
Okay.
I want you to tell me if you had to pilot somebody else's team, and it can be as many different teams as you want, which are the teams that have been drafted that really appeal to you?
That I would want to pilot. Okay, let me look at Sean's here. So Togekiss, big fan of that. Love the Arcanine pick. BK. The Dracovish, interesting. Love the Chansey Mega Pinsir pick. That was great. Um,
He's got Scarm Chance. That's gonna be a nightmare
yeah,
to deal with.
yeah, that's. But then again, that just seems like that is like such a heavy wall move. And then he's got snipers and Mega Pinsir. Dude, I'm toxicking BK. I'm toxicking everything. Okay, I'm toxicking your whole team. um, then we got Jeffs. I love the Celestial and Melodic. That just is like,
That's a good pair. Electric weak, but a good pair.
yeah, yeah. So I look at that and I go, what you can't OHKO either of them unless you have like a Thunder boosted. Like maybe Regieleki could do something to them.
Right on.
Then we have Gav, Porygon 2, Rotom Flop. Oh, the Mega Gyarados. Dude, it's hard for me not to just pick it because of that.
Like I said, you can pick as many teams as you want to pick.
Yeah, so I'll definitely go Gavs just to look at it
Gav
because
has a good team.
yeah, Gav has a great team. I see SP2 and Hitmontop. The Dusclops really does it for me though, and the Cincinco, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
He has Tapu Koko. Oh, dude, yeah, I would definitely
Hmm.
pick this team. So I would, dude, love the crap out of this.
Yeah, Dad.
I would run this team as hard as I could, and I would try to get Mega Gyarados to be the kill leader again. Um, and I would run a Heal Bell Sylveon set and just go back and forth because Mega Gyarados and Sylveon would be a great pair.
Oh, that'd be a very good pair.
Yeah, yeah, and then I would scarf my Cincinco or Cincino or whatever, or give him a King's Rock and let Tail Slap run amok. And let's see who else. And then Jesse's team, I would have to say, he's did very very good. And you know who also is who I like is Anthony's team. I think the Alolan Muck was a very low key pick. He's had him before, and I think it might have even been mono when he had
Yeah.
him. He because that might have been his dark type
Oh, it
was a
might have
Alolan Muck,
been. It might have been.
and I couldn't kill it. I remember trying to kill it, and I don't even remember what set he did. It had some boosting powers, but he ran amok, no pun intended, with that bad boy. And let's see. Oh, we got your little team. Oh, you got Mew. That's a tough go for me. I love Mew. You got a little bit of you got some stuff going on here. Mega
Oh,
Altaria is extremely underappreciated. One Dragon Dance return from that bad boy.
oh yeah.
Let's see here. Dragapult, Incineroar. That's decent. Quinton. Now Quinton hasn't made his updates yet,
No,
correct?
those are the updates.
These are the updates. Okay.
That's a fully updated.
I love the Eldegoss Max pick. That's a crazy one. Okay. I'll pick David's too because he has Lucario, who's one of my favorites, Koffagrigus and Regieleki. So he's going to set up screens, set up webs, and try to just kill people with Hoopa and Bound. Like that's
Yeah.
exactly what he's going to do. Or Mega Garchomp, he'll scale shot, Swords Dance, something like that. Beartick was a great pick because that thing has Slush Rush and Swift Swim.
And he's got Ninetales and Lapras that can set up both.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm happy with that team. That's pretty much it. I would say those three: Gav, Anthony, and
David
Jesse.
or Jesse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those
Yeah,
all.
Jesse. I don't want David's team. Oh, did I
Da-
say yeah, David's
no,
team?
yeah,
Sorry, I guess four. I guess four.
yeah. No, you want David's team. He's got good picks there.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but I just look at this Jesse's team, dude. K Black, Metagross, Moltres, Rhyperior, Typhlosion, Regigigas, Mega Venu, Nai Hyligo, Tapu Bulu, and Teleon, Rodham Fan. Dude, he has his bases covered. The only way you're going to beat him is if you out prep and you out predict.
Yeah, I think so. Although I don't think it's possible to predict Jesse.
Yeah, well, not with the level of prep he does for sure. Man,
Yeah.
so he's going to do, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Tapu Bulu, um, shoot, what's the Rillaboom fast move?
Grassy Glide.
Well, yeah, he'll probably like run some stupid swords dance or some sort of move set and then get grassy glide going.
Well, Bulu doesn't get Grassy Glide, but you know who
No, no,
does?
no, no, but it gets the grassy terrain.
Yeah, and Mega Venusaur gets the glide.
Yeah, right. So that's what I would expect him to run.
Yeah,
Something ridiculous like that. And then
yeah.
that Typhlosion Z, which gets him a speed boost in the sun with Eruption, is going to be a tough go.
Wait, it does?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that sets up Sun and raises his speed by one stage.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he'll. Sorry,
Oh
Jesse,
no,
for
I
doing
did know
the.
Sunny Day boosts your speed because Rain Dance does the same.
Yeah, that's going to be a monster for people to deal with.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Sheesh.
All right, let's take a look at your schedule because I'm curious. I want to
Okay.
know. I want to know which of all the guys you're slated to face in the regular season, who are you excited to play the most?
Okay, let me take a look here. So I play Jason, then Sean, and I play David, and I play Liam week 4. So week 5 against Rennie is definitely up there.
Right
Um,
on.
and then week 8 against BK. I'll just say, do I fight Jesse at all? Let me see. I don't. Yeah, I do. So week 8 and week 9, those are going to be my two biggest weeks because BK was talking trash in the D League chat, like out of nowhere. He tagged me and was like, "Let's battle," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "No, we're not battling." And he might have forgot this. I never forgot it, and I was like, "Earn your way up here, and we'll fight." So he's earned his way up here, and I'm looking forward to
And
giving
now
him
you're
a
gonna
go.
fight.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like, I'm the underdog in that situation, so
You
that
are.
excites me to like, all right, BK, let me toxic and poison your Chansey and your freaking Skarmory, dude. Bring it on.
Hey man, if you're lucky, he's still obsessed with Elden Ring at that point, and that's still all he's still playing.
Oh yeah, I'll catch him unsuspecting. That's for sure.
Hopefully, 2 months out, that's still all he's doing.
Let me see. Who's the Delphoxers again?
That's Jason.
Oh, I thought it was,
He changed his team name again.
dude.
I think he changes it every season.
Dude. Yeah, okay. So that's my last game. So he'll get a chance at a rematch after I beat him week 1.
Yeah,
That'll be fun. But yeah, I would probably say BK and Jesse just because, and Rennie. So if I had to pick one, I'm probably gonna pick BK just because of the little bit of back and forth we had.
that's gonna be one to watch for sure. That's definitely gonna be one to watch. I'm excited to see that one.
Yeah, good. I'll try to put on a performance for you.
You always do. You always put on a good performance. That's for sure. So, in realistically, that's everything I've wanted to ask you today. We've gotten so much great shit out of you, by the way, like those backstories and whatnot. I feel like I feel like of the interviews we've done so far, where it's the person's first time on the channel, I think like we really know who James is now.
Oh, well, good, man. I hope so. That was the goal here. Give you guys the inside scoop.
Oh, for sure. But in case there's anything I'm missing, if you have any final thoughts that you want to speak before we wrap up, it could be about the draft, it could be about you, it could be about anything you want it to be.
Um, Let me think here. The only thing I want to say is that I am a grown ass man who has obligations and I love this game. I'm never going to stop playing it. And if a client of mine hears about this video or sees that I play Pokemon, I hope you know that I love it and I'm doing it forever. That's what I have to say.
I don't think there's a better way that we can end this than that statement.
Good. I'll sign off on that one, Alex.
Yeah, we're going to sign off on that one. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this interview. I hope you enjoyed hearing all the shenanigans James has been up to over the years, because, god damn it, I did. Keep your eyes out for more interviews. This should be number 8, which means we're fine or only halfway done.
Woo!
So we got interviews coming. We got regular season coverage coming in a couple weeks. Stay excited. Stay tuned. Until next time, everyone, take care.